You've probably heard all the positive traits of your zodiac sign, the charming side, the confident side, the nurturing side. But what about the parts no one likes to admit? Every sign has a shadow, the side we try to hide from others or even deny in ourselves. Today, we're exposing the dark side of each zodiac sign that people don't usually talk about. Aries. Aries is known for being bold, fiery, and unstoppable, but underneath that courage is deep impatience that often pushes them into reckless choices. They want results now, and when they don't get their way, their frustration can erupt in ways that catch people off guard. It's not just a quick temper, it's a restless energy that refuses to sit still. Their confidence can also slip into an inflated ego. Aries will often mask insecurity with bravado, acting like they have everything under control, when in reality they're terrified of being overlooked or irrelevant. That need to prove themselves can sometimes make them burn bridges before realizing what they've lost. Taurus. Taurus carries the reputation of being stable, dependable, and loyal, but their dark side reveals itself when they shut down. Their famous, stubborn silence can turn manipulative, forcing others to bend to their will. It's not always about keeping peace. Sometimes it's about winning control without saying a word. They also struggle with material and emotional attachment. What looks like loyalty can actually be fear of losing comfort, security, or even a person they've grown attached to. Taurus doesn't let go easily, and that clinging energy can feel possessive or controlling, even when they frame it as devotion. Gemini. Gemini is lively, witty, and adaptable, but their shadow comes out in how they dodge accountability. They can slip into different roles depending on who they're around, which makes it hard to know their real stance. This shape-shifting isn't always innocent. It's a way of avoiding being held responsible for their words or actions. And then there's the drama. For Gemini, chaos can be a form of stimulation. When life feels dull, they might stir things up just to feel alive again, even if it means playing both sides of a conflict. They'll laugh it off as harmless fun, but the truth is, sometimes they thrive a little too much on the tension they create. Cancer. Cancer is nurturing and protective, but when their emotions take over, they can use guilt as a weapon. Emotional blackmail often slips into their relationships, making others feel bad for not giving them the care or attention they crave. What looks like love can sometimes be a way of pulling strings behind the scenes. Their care also has a smothering edge. Cancer's desire to protect can become suffocating, disguised as nurturing but really rooted in their own fear of abandonment. They'll hold on tightly, sometimes too tightly, making it difficult for others to breathe or grow on their own terms. Leo. Leo shines effortlessly, and people are naturally drawn to their warmth and charisma, but behind that glow is a constant need for validation. When the applause stops or the spotlight shifts, insecurity can creep in fast. That's when their shadow side emerges, showing arrogance, exaggeration, or a desperate attempt to pull the focus back on themselves. Their confidence often masks deep self-doubt. Leo may appear larger than life, but underneath, they're terrified of not being admired or loved. This fear can push them into behaviors that seem boastful or controlling, when in reality, it's just an attempt to cover the cracks in their self-esteem. Virgo. Virgo is disciplined, precise, and thoughtful, but their shadow side shows in how hypercritical they can be. Their sharp eye for detail can quickly turn into cruelty, picking apart flaws in themselves and others. What they see as helpful advice often cuts deeper than they realize, leaving wounds in their wake. Their perfectionism also works as a shield. By obsessing over getting things just right, Virgo avoids facing their deeper vulnerabilities. It's easier to criticize or correct than to admit they feel uncertain or insecure. This avoidance can make them seem cold or judgmental, even when underneath they're struggling with their own sense of inadequacy. Libra. Libra's charm and diplomacy are admired, but their people pleasing can turn into subtle manipulation. They'll bend themselves to keep everyone happy, yet beneath the surface, they may be quietly pulling strings to maintain control. It's not always kindness, sometimes it's strategy. Their fear of conflict is another hidden trait. To keep things smooth, they'll sugarcoat, avoid tough conversations, or even lie. While they present themselves as peacemakers, the reality is they may sabotage authenticity in relationships just to keep up the image of harmony. Scorpio. Scorpio is magnetic and powerful, but their dark side lies in an obsessive need to control. They crave intensity and will often maneuver situations or people to feel secure. For them, control equals safety, and they'll go to great lengths to make sure they hold the upper hand. Secrecy is also part of their shadow. Scorpios don't just keep things private, they use information as a weapon, holding back, withholding, or revealing truths at the perfect moment gives them leverage, and they're fully aware of how much power that silence can carry. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is adventurous, optimistic, and free spirited, but their dark side shows in how they run from responsibility. They frame it as freedom, but often it's avoidance, leaving others to deal with the consequences while they chase the next thrill. Their honesty can also turn brutal. Sagittarius prides themselves on telling it like it is, but that bluntness often cuts deeper than they realize. What they call truth can feel more like a weapon, leaving others hurt while they move on, barely looking back. Capricorn. Capricorn is ambitious and hardworking, but their shadow shows in their workaholism. They bury themselves in goals to avoid facing emotional vulnerability, often convincing themselves that productivity equals worth. This makes them seem detached, prioritizing career or image over human connection. That detachment can come across as coldness. Capricorn may justify neglect with their ambitions, but underneath it's often fear. Fear of slowing down, fear of being judged, or fear of admitting weakness. Their discipline can make them seem untouchable when really it's a wall they've built around themselves. Aquarius. Aquarius is innovative, unique, and forward thinking, but their shadow lies in their detachment. When things get too emotional, they can become icy, shutting people out in ways that feel cruel. Their independence sometimes looks more like isolation, leaving others feeling unimportant. They also use intellect as a weapon. Aquarius has a sharp mind, but that intelligence can be twisted into belittling or dismissing others. What they see as logic can actually be arrogance, making people feel small in the process. Pisces. Pisces is dreamy, empathetic, and compassionate, but their shadow emerges in how they play the victim. When life feels heavy, they can slip into self-pity as a way to avoid accountability, hoping others will rescue them instead of facing the issue head on. They're also prone to escapism. Whether through fantasy, substances, or relationships, Pisces often drifts away from reality when things get too painful. While they frame it as sensitivity, it can be a way of dodging responsibility, leaving others to carry the weight they've avoided. Closing. So that's the dark side of every zodiac sign. Remember, none of this is about shaming your sign, it's about awareness. The traits we hide are often the ones that hold the most power over us. When you face them, you can transform them into wisdom and strength. Which of these shadow traits do you recognize in yourself or in the people around you? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into astrology.